Hello, this is she. Lay off. Laid off. Okay. Well, thank you for calling and letting me know. I understand. Have a good day. Bye. Hey, Apostle. The church is closing. Okay, got it. No problem. Bye. Hello? Who's calling? Yes, this is Alexis. She passed away. Okay, thank you for letting me know. And my condolences to your family. All right, have a good day. Bye. Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to Authentically Alexis Chats. I am Alexis, and get in here, girl. Let's chat. We got a lot to talk about. What happens when the Lord takes away almost everything in your life? From the month of March to the end of April, I lost my job, my church closed, and my therapist died. So, with all of those things ending in my life, it has been a whirlwind of a journey. And not to mention all of the things that has happened in between in my family of those three major events. From the time the layoff call happened, I just got hit with news back to back to back, and I just could not take any more blows. It had me questioning God, like, why is this happening to me? What is going on, and why are you doing this? Like, this is literally the sum total of my life, my job, my church, and my therapist. I go to work, make a living, come home, and do all the things that I need to do. I pay my bills. I go to church, I serve, I minister there. And then I have my therapist to get me through the ups and downs of life. So you decided to take everything away from me? Why is that? And I had to sit with myself for a while because I became depressed while I was still moving, while I was still doing. I was grieving all of the losses that I had just taken. And not to mention the year before, where I had taken several blows that almost just had me laying down, period. So to go from one fight to the next, it almost felt like it was just like, God, I just can't believe that you're doing this right now. Why is this happening? What is going on? And in that moment, I didn't have the answers. But in my mind, I'd love to have think God is doing this so that I can rest. God is doing this so that I can sit down. God is doing this so that I can focus on what He's called me to focus on. God is doing this so that I can focus on myself and my healing in this period of my life. And while that sounds like something that is okay, to have everything taken away from you is just like, well, who am I? What am I supposed to do now? Where do I go from here? I was exhausted. I was tired. I did not want to do ministry anymore. I had gotten to the place in ministry where it was just a complete burnout. I did not want to serve. I didn't have a servant's heart. And that is who I am at my core, a servant. I love to serve people and I love to serve God. But it had gotten to a point where it's just like, I'm tapped out and I can't do this anymore. Emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, I was drained. I loved my job and I loved my coworkers. I loved what I did at work. I loved being in the office. I loved being around my coworkers. I loved the trajectory that I was on. Everything was working out and going amazing. I even loved my supervisors and my management, and that for a lot of people can't say that. I genuinely loved my job and who I worked with. My therapist was literally like a family member to me. We would send each other sermons and Instagram clips, and we would talk outside of my therapy sessions. And she was always someone who lent herself to me and was available to me at any time. And talking to her was like talking to family. And to lose her on top of everything that was going on, it was just like, well, what do I do now? And in my mind, I ain't going through, and I don't want to go through any measure of what Job went through, but my mind went to his story where the Lord took away basically everything from him and plagued him with sickness. And while those things the things that happened to Job did not happen to me, God gave me a reminder of what it is to be a suffering servant and to lose things, and how to have a perspective of trusting God and leaning on God in a time where you are experiencing such loss. And it has not been an easy journey, but it has changed my perspective on how I live my life. For myself and for God, it has changed the way that I view my relationship with God. It has changed the way that I view religion. It has changed the way that I have viewed the church. And it has changed the way that I just want to go about my life at this point. You know, we chase after these things and we go after what we want, and we have such success in life that sometimes it takes moments like these for God to slow us down and be like, hey, I know you like it here, but this isn't the trajectory that I want you to be on. And you're becoming too engulfed and too comfortable in this part, in this season of your life, to the point where I have a feeling that you won't move unless I cause you to move. I was very comfortable in my job. It had gotten to the point where it's just like, you know what? I'm going to be here for the next few years. I'm going to collect these government benefits and everything is going to be great, dandy, and fine. My workload wasn't too much. I didn't have any turmoil or beef or office gossip or anything like that. So I had gotten to the place where I had reached a level of comfort that would stifle me. So I understand now why the Lord took my job from me, and he's causing me to see that, hey, we still have a plan in place for your life. There is still somewhere that I have for you to go, and this part of the journey is not it, and I need you to focus and remember what I promised you. While this is a piece of the promise, to be a resource to pay your bills, this is not the promise. And sometimes we get comfortable on the way to the promise because God allows for it to get good. Not every season in our life is rocky. Not every season in our life is bumpy. There are moments of peace. There are moments of just kind of coasting along. There are moments of rest. And for me, I did not have to work so hard that it drained me, that when I came home, I hated my job, I hate my coworkers, I hate everything. No, it wasn't that for me at all. It was literally quite the opposite. So in my comfortability, the Lord saw and said, hey, I'm going to use what is happening in the government right now to shake you up and to cause you to stay on course. So if God has shaken up something in your life, he is shaking you back on course. He's putting you back in the place where you're supposed to be. He's rerouting you back to your destiny, because sometimes we get comfortable in a place of comfort, and sometimes we get comfortable in places of discomfort too. I'm not even gonna hold you. Familiarity causes us to get comfortable in places of discomfort when we know that there is more for us, and we know that God has plenty in store, a future and a hope for us to keep moving, keep going, keep shaking, and achieving the things for his kingdom that he wants us to achieve. With my church closing, it was, I'm not even gonna lie, it was a blessing in disguise, because I was so worn out. I don't think people who are not ministers or are in ministry understand the mental, the spiritual, and the emotional toil and toll it takes on your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit. It takes a lot to minister the gospel of Jesus Christ. There are times where you have to deny yourself of things that you want, deny yourself of people that you want to be with, deny yourself of places you want to go. There is so much sacrifice involved with being a servant of God, and I don't think people understand that. There have been so many times that I've wanted to do things in my life. I wanted to go places and be with people and hang out at certain places. And the Lord, because I was in the ministry, He's like, no, you can't go there. This is not where I'm going to have you in this season of your life. This is what you can and cannot do in this season of your life, because you are literally serving the vision and doing the co-mission of God. There are certain things that you cannot do as a minister versus being a child of God. There are things that God will allow you to do as a child of God that is like, hey, I can go here, I can go there, I can do this, I can do that. But sometimes as a minister, you are literally sacrificing your time for the people. You are literally sacrificing your pleasure for the people. You are literally sacrificing parts of you to be crushed, to be pressed, to be pruned, so that you can deliver a message to the people. I think what people don't realize also is that the messages that your ministers and your pastors and your preachers give out, they live through those moments. They live through those crushings. They live through those prunings just to deliver a message of hope and a message to you so that you can overcome and get through the things that you are going through. We experience them firsthand, and sometimes at a level that you are not even experiencing them, so that we can give a message of hope to change something on the inside of you, to make something on the inside of you leap, so that you know that God is for you and that God has not left you or forsaken you, and that even though that times are hard, you can still push and keep going, and that God still has a plan for you. So with the church closing, I know it sounds crazy, a blessing in disguise, but it gives me a moment to rest. It gives me a moment to regroup. It gives me a moment to spend time with God for myself. It gives me that one-on-one time that a lot of the times I was going in there to seek the face of God for other people, but I wasn't there to seek the face of God for myself. Now I have this time as father and daughter just to sit with God, just to be with God, just to allow Him to love on me, just to learn and research and study the Word of God for myself, and to have those deposits where I don't have to give them out. I know that may sound selfish, but in hindsight it is not, because of the time that was spent pouring out on others. So it has been I've been in a place where I'm regaining my freedom. I'm regaining my sense of self in a new way. I am becoming who God meant for me to be outside of the norm. It's like I'm being put in a space where it's like, I know God and I love Him. And the things that have come my way, yeah, it may seem to come to knock me off my pedestal. It may seem to come to knock me off my course, but it's really God's divine redirection and rerouting. It was really in God's plan to have me on this path. And it is not the enemy who is coming to knock me down. Now, what the enemy will do is come and play on these emotions that you are feeling in this time. The warfare down here is nothing compared to the warfare when you are on the top of the mountain. And it just feels beautiful to be in this space of just being. And that is what I think I'm learning, being and being present and enjoying my life. God awards us seasons where we can enjoy the things that we desire, that we want, And there are times where I am not restricted of doing and going and being around the people that I love. I know that sounds crazy, but it takes discipline to be a minister. It takes discipline to be integral. It takes discipline. Not saying that you don't need to be integral at every phase of your life, but there is another level of integrity. There's another level of character building. There's another level of just being a servant of God when you are on the mountaintop versus being down in the valley or down in the greener pastures where God is just letting you roam free and be, but he's still watching over you. He still has his hand on you. He still is coming to rescue you when you do something stupid. So it has been an interesting experience. I have been on a journey of self-discovery, self-love. I have been just exploring my city and doing the things that I enjoy that I wouldn't normally necessarily have time to do. I'm taking road trips and spending my Sundays slow, reading the word for myself and just ingesting it and soaking it all in. With even being out of work, I'm enjoying going places where it's not full. It's not packed at capacity because everybody's trying to enjoy their weekend on a Saturday and a Sunday. I am enjoying not working. What I'm not enjoying is not having the paycheck. I need some coins. Okay, I need some coins, but I am rediscovering my creativity in this space because I have the freedom to do so. And I'm discovering God in a new way. And I don't have my therapist, and it sucks that I don't have my therapist here. And I wish she was here. I really wish she was here. She was such a beautiful person. But to lose the one that you talk to and to vent to get everything out, it's hard because there are moments in this journey where I am low, I'm sad, I'm depressed, where I come up short, where I need someone who is, not biased to what's going on in my life. I need that guidance, that direction, that word of wisdom, those tools, those coping skills and mechanisms that I need to just push forward. But what it causes me to do is, of course, lean on God even the more. So yeah, it's been an interesting journey. It's been beautiful, and I won't complain. I won't complain because so many other people have it much worse than I do. I may have lost some things, but it wasn't to destroy me, but it was to build me up and put me on a path where I know the Lord is leading me into my next. So sometimes when things are taken away from you, it's not to tear you down. It's not to set you back, but it's literally to set you up, to propel you forward, to do what the Lord has called you to do, to go and be all of who he has called you to be. There are so many things in our lives that are holding us back. There are so many things in our lives that are restricting us. And God is saying, I'm giving you that time to be free. I'm giving you that time to become. And I'm giving you that time to overcome. And I'm giving you the time to rest. A lot of us need rest, because if we don't rest, we're not going to be prepared for the next. So rest before your next. Do everything God has asked of you before your next, so that when you walk into it, you are prepared mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. So you losing everything or some things is not for naught. It's literally the hand of God on your life, guiding you into your next steps. Walk by faith and not by sight. I love you all. Please, 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 please comment in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video. Again, I love you so much, and thank you for coming to Authentically Alexis Chats. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.